Well, let's talk about Taskmaster, which I was delighted to...
One person.
Yeah.
Who actually did see the recent series?
Yeah.
That's healthy.
Only so what? They've all seen it, but only one person's cheering. So that's. I mean, I'm actually a little bit behind. I watched episode 6, where you're doing really well, Jenny. So I presume you've won. That's what I'm presuming.
You would think. The thing with me, I'm full of promise, and then I always disappoint. It's kind of something I do and have done all my life. Nothing really changes. As I say, I was doing this research into something, and I had to look back at, all my stuff from my past, and I found some old school reports. And they could have been written by a Guardian comedy critic. That sort of slightly, she's a bit noisy and silly. The kind of stuff. I'm sure a Guardian critic has written about me in the past 10 years,
Sure.
Irritating. Jenny can be irritating and boring. That kind of thing. I thought, fucking hell, nothing's changed. Where were we? Sorry, Taskmaster.
Well, you were. I don't think you were irritating and boring on Taskmaster. You were very entertaining.
I was fun.
You were having a lot of fun. I don't think I've seen anyone enjoy a task as much as the one with the hat and the potatoes.
Honestly,
in my life.
I think I came several times. I think, in fact, it is the only thing that will ever make me orgasm again. My poor partner is going to have to set up a conveyor belt and get me a double-topped hat. Honestly, I've never been so excited or thrilled in all my life. It was absolutely magnificent. And I also get slightly horny in places like that, disused warehouses and stuff. Yeah. They do something to me, and great big machinery and everything, and I was already giddy. They didn't need to do much.
It's good. Alex Horne comes across as a very sexual figure through there. When I talk to Taskmaster, especially the female Taskmaster contestants, it turns out there's a lot going on there beneath the surface of Alex Horne.
I think, I adore Alex, but Greg is the sex god.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I don't think there are very many women my age that wouldn't reverse their newfound frigidity for Greg. I mean, all of us have given up on sex, but there's I can't be arsed, but, I would rewind.
Okay. I'll let
Not
him know.
me. No, don't. Oh, for God's sake, don't. Have I just said something stupid? Anyway, no, I think that he is an incredibly charismatic man.
He is, of course.
Yeah.
He is. I find him very sexy.
Oh, I think.
Well, I think throughout the generations as well, Greg has a lot of younger women who are very attracted to him as well.
I think he likes older women. I think he does. I think he likes them over 60.
Yeah, he's a pervert. He almost certainly.
Sort of opposite of Operation U-Tree.
Yeah. Gerontophiles are a problem as well as pedophiles. So, that's what they're called. Gerontophiles. I used to do a joke about that as well. That's how I know.
Yeah, I could see the smirk about your lip. When
I can't remember what it was, but it was something about people got upset. Like once I started talking about wanting to have sex with 90-year-old women, people get upset. You go, you are upset when people have sex with young people. You're upset when people have sex with old people. I can't remember what it was.
No.
It was terrible. It was back in the day when you could do jokes like that. You'd be cancelled now, saying I want to have sex with a 90-year-old woman.
That one's died, Rich.
It has. It has. So you stopped watching Taskmaster because you were so annoyed about not being asked on it.
I was absolutely livid. Considering the fact that both of us belong to the management company who make Taskmaster, I had to wait 15 seasons. 15. Yeah. I have been with this management company since I was 30. I've been with them for 33 fucking years. I have given them 15% of my life for 33 years. You'd think the least... well, apparently, when it was on Dave, they didn't want me.
Oh, really?
No.
I think that's the same for me as well. I think they didn't want me on Dave either.
Yeah, it's rude, isn't it? I mean, they have a list of people they want and people they don't want, and you're on the wrong list. Yeah. You think, oh, fuck you. Honestly, sometimes I want to burn buildings down. I genuinely do. I'm very, very angry. And eventually, when it went to Channel 4, they're a bit softer on me because I've done some work for Channel 4. Mind you, I had a lovely show on Channel 4, and it was an art show. Did anyone watch it? It was called Draws Off. Nothing. Absolute blank. Are you all working people? It's probably because you're working people. I'm trying to give you an excuse here, everybody. It was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so you weren't back from work, were you? You could have streamed it, you could have watched it, you could have done all four. Fuck's sake, nobody tries. And that's why it got cancelled. I blame you. But I was so happy doing that show. I'm at my happiest in an art studio. I can't paint. I dabble very, very badly, but you know, it's where I like to be. Sure. Anyway, they cancelled that. Oh dear.
That was a live drawing of a nude drawing thing. So
well, it was originally. Yeah, it was actually. Yeah, both series were. The first series, the twist in it, which I always knew would always be problematic, was they were all amateur painters, and day by day, there were 5 shows in a week, and day by day, each of the painters had to take turns in getting their kit off and being a life model. Okay. Well, for some people, it's absolutely no problem. I used to be a life model. I used to life model for Camberwell Art School, and before that, in Manchester, I have no shame. I genuinely couldn't give a shit. And, you know, I could do this naked. And, you know, you wouldn't enjoy it. I'm not going to do it. You know, it'd be upsetting for a lot of people, but it just doesn't bother me. But for some people, it's quite a big deal. So I knew that was going to shrink the number of applicants because, you know, loads of people love to do paint nude people. They just don't want to be the nude person.
Yeah, I think that's...
So it was a silly thing. But anyway, I wanted to do an art show, so I said yes to it. And then series 2, they got professional life models in, so it was much better. But then, right, and I'm going to be indiscreet here.
Good.
I'm just going to burn some bridges.
Yeah,
Rich.
do it.
What I'm doing is I'm throwing a match and some petrol behind me. That's what I'm doing. Burning my fucking bridges. What they decided to do was put a voiceover on it. You know what? A cheeky chappy Channel 4 voiceover on top of it.
Yeah.
And it completely ruined it. And when I've heard the first episode and this voiceover, I lay on the floor and I wept.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that in the second series?
Second
also?
series.
So they changed the format.
They tweaked the format. In one direction, it was much better. In the other direction, it was a piece of shit.
Right.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, quite angry about that.
Yeah, but you're allowed to be angry,
Yeah.
and that's part.
But I'm wearing my bright yellow Crocs.
There's always been anger in you, Jenny. There's
Yeah.
always been, there's always been a
A
fight.
flame.
There's been a fight inside you.
There's always been a spark of imminent vandalism if I don't get my own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, so that is what makes you great, and that's also possibly, where you're your own worst enemy.
Yeah.
But then
Very
that's
much
what,
so.
but it's still, you're still getting the TV job, so it is still
Not enough of them.
no one gets enough. That's why
No,
I'm doing
I know,
That's
yeah.
why we're doing podcasts. Jenny. But you did seem in Taskmaster less angry, I have to say. I mean, you got angry with some of the Alex messing you around,
yeah,
and stuff, but
yes.
charmingly so.
Well, Alex could trick me. I'm very gullible.
Yeah.
I'm a really gullible woman. I've sort of fallen into that trap of being a stupid old cow. And Alex, I could tell he was really enjoying it when he tricked me.
Yeah.
And I there was almost a catchphrase of, why would you do that? But you don't get the opportunity that often to play, to, regress to the playground and do stupid things for the sake of it. And I was brought up without television because we lived abroad. And it just reminded me of being, 7
Yeah.
and really having a laugh.
Yes.
Yeah.
And crashing barges. I mean, you nearly killed him, I guess.
Yeah.
So that would have been revenge for his rude...
There's a sound engineer who still has tinnitus. Because he was in the bows of the boat and we really did crash it. You know. I was heavily bruised.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Listen, I've done loads of shows where I've ended up heavily bruised. I did Splash as well.
Yeah.
And I did a real belly flop during one of the practice sessions in Splash. Honestly, the bruising looked like I'd been in a massive car crash.
Right.
And they had to sort of get loads of body paint to try and cover it up for when I was doing the telly one. I know. So, yeah.
It's his own fault. I mean, someone's going to die on Taskmaster eventually.
Well,
It's quite, you know, the health and safety is not paramount on Taskmaster.
Well, sometimes it is. Like when I wanted to set fire to the curtains in the caravan,
Yes, you know,
with just my breath and a naked flame, they got really uptight about it, and they had loads of sort of fire extinguishers on hand. And in the end, it was just tiny. I wanted a flamethrower and so they were quite cautious with me, but I think they thought that I could easily break something, or you know, a hip could go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did the Champion of Champions 3 weeks after my operation
For your ball.
for my ball, so I wasn't really meant to lift anything or do any vigorous exercise, and I was carrying big pipes around, and Alex was just sitting back watching. Then eventually went, there aren't enough pipes to reach all the way. We tested it, so after I'd done it for 15 minutes.
I know, well, I have no working left hand, and I got no credit for that. I mean, it works a bit, but it's not dexterous. I had a cartwheel-related injury.
Yeah.
I don't know why people laugh at the idea of me cartwheeling.
Did it happen 55 years ago, Jenny?
No, it happened 2 years ago.
Right.
And it was a stupid... I'm too old, I'm too fat, and I can't cartwheel. And consequently, there were consequences. And I broke my neck. Well, I didn't. Don't believe a thing I say. I'm a liar. I did something quite bad to my neck, and I was in quite a lot of pain. And eventually I had to have an operation. And it has left me with I have an enfeebled left hand.
Right.
So I can't knit.
Oh.
Never could.
Never interested.
No. I mean, I really genuinely can't, and it doesn't. It's a bit slow. It's a bit behind. But
it looks fine. You seem to be moving it around a lot at the moment.
Yeah. It's still. I could still have a wank with it if I could be bothered. You know what I mean? And it would feel like someone else's hand.
Yeah, definitely would. More so.
Because it's a bit delayed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
If I could be bothered.
Completely lost my train of thought now, thinking about.